So they say I'm oppressed. I have no voice. They look at me with such sympathy and pity. They assume I don't speak proper English or have a college education. Why? Because of this simple piece of cloth called the niqab. They claim that it's degrading to me as a woman, that it took away my rights, that I've gone back to the Stone Ages. Well, let me tell you something. Islam gave me my rights over 1400 years ago, whereas some countries today, in the 21st century, women are still living without basic human rights. Did you know that newborn female babies are still being buried alive now in 2015? This isn't happening in Afghanistan or in Saudi Arabia. This is happening in developed superpower countries such as China and even India. And if that isn't barbaric enough, women in China are being forced to abort pregnancies because of their one-child policy law. Oh, but wait! Poor you. You're wearing a niqab. Today, in some parts of India, Hindu widows are shunned by their people and are banned from social activities. Why? Merely for being a woman without a husband. They're forced to wear white so they can be identified as widows, or as some Indian people refer to them, walking zombies. A woman's life stops when her husband dies, and is then devalued and has no worth in society. She can't work, can't get a place to live, can't even get health care. Her own children throw her out on the streets out of shame and embarrassment, leaving her with no other option but to either beg in the streets or die on the sidewalk. Oh, but wait! Poor you. You're wearing a niqab. Today, in 2015, women are still being sold into the life of prostitution. Child sex trafficking is at an all-time high in places like Thailand, Brazil, and Cambodia. Young girls as young as 12 years old are being forced to sell their bodies for a few dollars. They're being drugged, raped, molested, abused physically, mentally, and emotionally. Oh, but wait! Poor you. You're wearing a niqab. In America, women are being objectified. They're wearing next to nothing, selling cars and even chocolate bars. You open the television and literally every other commercial, there's a woman half naked endorsed to sell a certain product. They're being plastered all over billboards, in magazines, on the internet, and just about anywhere and everywhere that you look. In fact, there's even coffee shops and restaurants that put waitresses in bikinis just to lure customers in. Oh, but wait! Poor you. You're wearing a niqab. Constantly, the Western woman is being used as a tool to make money. If that's not degrading, then what is? Islam highly emphasizes on modesty. This is why we Muslim women cover up. We're not to be seen as sex objects or as a tool for men to use for their own worldly gain. We're much more than that, and Islam knows our worth. It gave us the tools, rules, and guidebook on how to be a positive role in society. And most importantly, Islam taught us to display our faith, not our beauty. The point of this video and the message that I want to bring forth is that there are so many women out there that are battling the true definition of oppression. This piece of cloth is nothing compared to the real issues women all over the world are facing. I can go on and on about women's rights in Islam, such as voting, inheritance, owning property, even how financial security was assured for us women from the moment we're born until the day we die. But I need a whole other video for that. What I can say with great pride is that our women did not march in the streets demanding their rights. They didn't hold up signs or burn their undergarments to prove a point, as was done in America by the modern women in the 1920s. This so-called liberation, the Western women of today call girl power, is nothing new to a Muslim woman. They think they made history. History was written for us centuries ago. They just finally caught up with us. Fact is, the media is constantly portraying a negative image of a niqabi woman. This only leads to developing stereotypes and prejudices, which originates from misunderstandings, ignorance, and fabricated stories. The Western perception in general of a niqabi woman is far from the truth, and sadly, they believe what's told to them without properly studying women's rights in Islam. They take what's seen from cultural habits and assume it's in the name of religion. This remains one of the greatest challenges we niqabi women are fighting to break, and will break. The Islamic dress code is being laughed at, but if you're true to yourself and look through a clear lens, it really is what brings back the respect for women. Any intellectual person can tell the difference. My advice to everyone is to stop viewing the niqab from the media point of view and start an honest research on what it really has to deliver, not just to a woman herself, but to society as a whole. I wear this religious garment because it's a command from my Creator. He created me, therefore He knows what's best for me. No human being has forced me to do so, nor will I ever allow any human being or man-made law to force me to take it off. This is my choice, my right as a woman, my definition of freedom and liberation. It's the media and the Western society that's forcing their newly adapted values on others. All Abrahamic religions interpret modesty as honor. The more covered you are, the more modest you become. And there's nothing more beautiful than a woman with self-confidence who doesn't need to be validated by others. I am proud to be a Muslimah, proud to be a niqabi, proud to be walking in the footsteps of the mothers of the believers. And for this, I walk with my head up high. If you see this piece of cloth as a form of oppression, then with all due respect, your vision is blurred. Stop blaming the niqab. Nothing oppresses women than an uneducated, media-controlled mind. The niqab is a part of Islam, and Islam is the best gift a woman can give herself.